When you're losing a war and you've got nothing else to fight with, you fight with and for that very nebulous idea, world public opinion.
Dr. Leitz was sent to Europe and throughout the war fed information or disinformation to the European press.
The Boers produced masses of atrocity propaganda. The British government found itself progressively regarded as the pariah of Europe. This media war was an important part of the Boer War effort.
British movie makers play their part in the war of ideas.
There are a number of propaganda films as well during this period, and these films are very consciously anti-Boer, and they feature the Boer doing beastly things to British troops. There's a particular favourite of mine in which a group of Boers actually capture a couple of British nurses and tie them up to a flagpole and just about to execute them.
The real war grinds on relentlessly. Kitchener invents a system of blockhouses. These miniature forts, built less than a mile apart, are now linked by barbed wire to fence in the Boer commandos. Gradually, they extend across the whole country until they number 8,000 and cover a total distance of 4,000 miles. Into and against this armoured network, the commandos are driven like game.
Edgar Wallace, Daily Mail. Who will ever forget those days? Turning out at dawn with a streak of light and the ride into nowhere. Through the driving rain. A desultory exchange of rifle shots. Over a road that had ceased to be a road. Probably never was a road.
The British arm and train 30,000 Africans.
The Africans were very keen to fight on the British side against the Boers. They fought Boer commandos throughout the Western Transvaal. E.F. Knight was a British journalist, and he found incredible devastation of Boer homesteads.
In the end, in April 1902, the Boer commandos came to the decision that they can't fight to the bitter end anymore because this is already the bitter end.
The last Boer commandos hand in their guns. The British also want to end this prohibitively expensive war. Kitchener conducts the peace talks in secret. But a Daily Mail reporter finds a way to evade Kitchener's censorship.
Edgar Wallace had been a private in the army before he became a war correspondent, and he still had friends who were in the army. One of them was a guard outside the compound where the negotiations were taking place.
The railway ran within sight of the camp. I arranged a code of signal. My friend was to have 3 handkerchiefs. The white handkerchief was to signify that the peace treaty had actually been signed. I don't know how many journeys I made on that infernal railway. Then, one morning, I saw my friend standing on the end of the tent lines, and he was displaying a white handkerchief.
Wallace gets his story, and the Mail gets its scoop. Kitchener wants to ban the Daily Mail for flouting his rules of censorship. But the War Office tells its conquering hero the Mail is too strong. Fought on the hinge of the 20th century, the Boer War is a rehearsal for the wars of our time. Media wars, where image can influence victory and defeat.